こんにちは。世界のアレクセイです。今回はクリミア併合の後にウクライナがどう次へ準備してきたのかという質問をいただきました。それについてウクライナのキエフ大学で外交を勉強してきたコンスタンティンとお話ししました。
So I've got a question. We have talked about Crimea and how Ukrainians started drifting away from Russia and towards Europe. How did they do it?
Well, I think that the annexation of Crimea in 2014 was a big shock for the whole Ukrainian society. And in this regard, I think everyone understood from like the regular company worker to the top-notch politician, everybody understood that we need to make some preparation so that things like this do not happen in the future. So first thing first, I think quite a lot of money and efforts were dedicated to restoration of the military. So the army got reformed. In particularly, we should say that everybody realized that we cannot stand against Russia alone.
Mm-hmm.
So we started looking for allies, and in particular, we started drifting towards NATO because NATO is a good guarantor of security. This is a defensive pact, after all.
Mm-hmm.
So in this regard, our army started to get modernized towards the NATO standards because we viewed the membership in the alliance as one of the core strategic goals for Ukraine. At the same time, we viewed the membership in the European Union as one of the reasons why this whole mess started, because we were more pro-European at the time, while President Yanukovych decided to be more pro-Russian.
Mm-hmm.
So we started also to move towards the European Union in terms of legislation, the economic reforms, the political reforms, and so on and so forth. Of course, there were a lot of difficulties on this path, and I still think that not all reforms, not all important reforms needed for the EU membership have been addressed, and we do not fit the Copenhagen criterion. But this war allows us to look at the things under different perspective, so to say. But preparation, I think, mostly is the military, economic, and political field. And to secure these changes and our strategic goal, Ukraine into 2018 solidified it into the constitution of Ukraine, the path towards European Union and towards Euro integration and path towards the NATO membership. So since 2018, those are the parts of the constitution, and in order to change it, you need to change the very constitution. And therefore, legally, no politician can basically go against the NATO membership and EU membership, because the will of the people is that we move towards Europe and towards NATO.
Mm-hmm. So that is probably why right now Russians are trying to kill Zelensky's party and take over as a pro-Russian president and try to sway the people towards Russia, back to Russia.
Oh yes, effectively you cannot change the constitution without the government, at least without the government. So while Ukraine still has pro-European government, Russia cannot do anything because they cannot change the constitution of Ukraine. So what they want to do is to split up Ukraine into different pieces, like make maybe some sort of federation from all these Donetsk, Lugansk people republics and so on and so forth, and to change the constitution so that some of these smaller parts can veto the decisions of the central government in Kiev. So that, for example, if we decide to join NATO, these small pieces of Ukraine can say, no, we are against it, and the decision is blocked. So this is one of the things they want to do. At the same time, they want to eliminate the political leadership of the country and put on the pro-Russian puppets so that they can change the constitution of Ukraine. And at the same time, they need the support of the people to make this constitution possible, because the changes to the constitution are made by a public referendum. But the problem is that we all perfectly know that Russians can just rig any referendum and they can disregard the public opinion. But I think one of the biggest reasons why Russia has already lost is that they strategically lost the battle for the minds of Ukrainians. And basically everyone in Ukraine is against Russia now. Whether they support Europe or not, they're definitely against Russia, and Russia cannot change it.
Yeah, more than 90% of the people are pro-Zelensky.
Yeah.
I think during the wartime there was a survey about that.
Yeah, 91% of the respondents said that they are pro-Zelensky. But you should also take into consideration that it does mean that the remaining 9% are for Russia. the remaining 9% just can be supporting a different political figure, but also be against Russia. Of course, I will not be making any claims whether indeed those 9% are for Russia or not, but there is an overwhelming support for Zelensky and the current government of Ukraine and the current political course of Ukraine in the Ukrainian society.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
見てくれてありがとうございます。他にも質問があればコメント欄に書いてください。では次の動画でお会いしましょう。